All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
All right, shalom, brothers and sisters in the truth. I'm your brother, Mr. LJ, coming to you again with another presentation. And today I saw something that I was surfing the internet as usual, looking at the headlines, looking at what's going on here in Great Babylon and also around the world. And one particular article caught my attention, and that's the one you see on the screen right now from Newsweek. And it says, elderly man dies after being punched in Dunkin' Donuts over racial slur confrontation. So this happened on May 7th down in Florida, in Tampa, Florida, and it was at a Dunkin' Donuts at a gas station. And according to the news press here, the 77-year-old regular who actually go to this place all the time just got upset about the service and decided that he would start to berate the server. And he decided that he would park his car and he would go inside the Dunkin' Donuts and confront this server whose name is Corey Pujos, who's 27 years old. So he goes inside there, and Corey Pujos is actually the manager at this Dunkin' Donuts stop here in Florida. He confronts him. He knows Pujos, the manager, knows this guy. This guy comes in all the time. On this particular day, he was being a little bit rude, as you can see right here. He says, Pujos told police that the man was a regular customer. On this day, Pujos said the man was being extremely rude and called Pujos a racial slur. Pujos, who is black, okay, and they made sure they said it this time, okay. Now I'm going to show you several other reports where they actually really didn't describe the ethnicity of the person, but this is where you're going to see how this is actually building up and evolving into something that's going to be very, very, very detrimental to Jake in the up and coming months or whatever few years that Babylon has left. Okay, so the man who was black told police he asked the man to repeat what he said, and the man said the same slur. The specific slur was not included in the police report. Of course, we know that he must have used the word nigger. All right, let's get realistic here. Pujos said he then punched the man once in the face, which knocked him out and caused him to hit his head on the floor. Authorities arrived at the scene to find a 77-year-old victim unconscious and bleeding from the head. He was taken to Tampa General Hospital and placed in intensive care. 2 days later, he passed away. So now this young 27-year-old lost his school to a 77-year-old because he was called most likely the N-word. So we only can assume, and they didn't describe the race of this, the so-called race of this person, but let's assume that this person is most likely Edomite, because one Jake called another Jake nigger doesn't cause you to turn around and punch him, okay? And it definitely he wouldn't be claiming that the man said a racist slur, okay? So we're gonna say that this is an Edomite. So he punches him, and of course now he's being held in bond right now and being charged with murder. So I'm going to show you a couple other articles going on here where Jake are losing their mind, and Jake and those are losing their mind because of Black Lives Matter, okay? And what is Black Lives Matter associated with? If you type in Black Lives Matter right now in Google, okay, and let me do it right here to show you. Okay, so BLM riots. See, and what do you see? You'll see a lot of videos showing this. Okay, so this is what Black Lives Matter is associated with: violence. Okay, violence, and our people have gotten very, very down because they assume that this march last year and all of this ruckus that was going on, approved by Esau, George Soros and those guys who are paying for this, and also the fact that the Democrats now, who's now being headed by Biden, was saying that this is a great thing, now losing their mind to believe that they can go and act without impunity. Okay, let's bring a precept up here. Proverbs 1:7, and I'm going to bring it across the screen so that you know I'm reading from the King James Bible here. Okay, and it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to go up here and start off from verse 4. Uh, from up here, Proverbs 1, starting with verse 4. To give subtle to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark saying. Okay, so Jake, who are in this truth, okay, understand, okay, the consequences of not heeding to what our teachers and elders are teaching us, which is basically to have the fear of Yahawashi. We are sheeps in amongst wolves. Okay, we don't have any right or any power in this nation. Okay, continuing on, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace upon thy head, and chains around thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Okay, so one thing this truth has is that we have it. It's in our head. We know what we need to do. We need, if you're pulled over by the cops, what do? You make sure that you're calm, non-threatening. You take out your documents, you show them and go, hey, sir, how are you? Okay, and you let him do the speaking, and then you finish the situation, and you live. Okay. If they tell you to stop, you stop. But we're seeing a lot of our Jakes getting put to death right now because why? Because of this Black Lives Matter nonsense, making them stupid, and they're not following and heeding to the words that are being put out there in the scriptures. Okay, because they're not actually in this truth. They're not in this truth. Okay, so you go on right now. What you're seeing happening right now is. Here is another news week. Disturbing video of attack on Asian man in California shows 80-year-old screaming for help. Now, I watched the video, and for the sake of time, I'm not going to put the video here, but I'm going to tell you these are Jakes. All right? From the video, they are Jakes. You can see this Jake come walking across the road. And so this has actually been going on. Yeah, here's the video right here. This has actually been going on in this country. Okay? See, now they're covering their faces right now because when the time is right, they are going, see, this is a young Jake, okay, assaulting these so-called these Asians or these Moabites right here. So what you're going to see here is they're going to allow this to continue to go on, okay, and this is going to build and build, and this is where that destruction is going to be coming on Jake. You know, when Esau pulled the plug, okay, because you can look and see right now they're cutting. That extra money that they're giving everybody, and who's getting that money? Jake was working those low level jobs. Okay, they're cutting those things out right now. Okay, so right here, let's take a look at this other New York Post right now. This New York Post, New York PD make arrest and assault a 61-year-old Asian man. Guess what? That's a Jake. All right, that's a Jake. So right now, Jake is building up again to what whatever left wing, right wing says that these people are thugs. These Black Lives Matter people are thugs. Remember, I showed you just the picture of doing what? What is Black Lives Matter symbols? Riots. Okay, that's what they did last year. Okay, let's take a look here again. This one here is man busted for attack on Asian woman was on parole for killing his mother. Guess what? That's a Jake. It looks like a Jake. And you see Esau, what Esau is doing here is they're building up a portfolio to show you that, you see, when Jake starts screaming about, why are we being killed by the police, or why us, they can pull these portfolio of Jake being stupid. Okay, now we don't know if these are paid actors. We don't even know if these are tears, but they look like Jake. It doesn't matter. In Wicked Queendom, Babylon, Great Babylon, if you are dark skinned, they consider you what they call black, and that means that you're associated with Jacob, okay, Israelite. All right, so they don't care. All people are seeing is that it's a black man. All right, so I'm gonna bring this out here before I move and show you the final picture I have here. Okay, and it says, this is Ecclesiastics. I'm gonna start from verse 14 here. Ecclesiastic 7. Salakia. Starting from verse 14. In the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider. Okay, so yeah, when things are going great, be glad. Okay, celebrate. But we have to consider right now we are in adverse times. Okay, Yahawashi Yahshai also has set the one over against the other to the end that man shall find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There's just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there's a wicked man that prolonged in his wickedness. So we can be righteous, okay, and yet still die before a person that is continuously wicked, which is the reason why Jay continuously go there and be wicked, okay? Because nothing is happening to them right now, okay? And of course, this can be applied. This can be applied to Esau right now, who's been slaughtering and killing us for the last 500 years, and hasn't been brought to justice yet by Yahawashi. But it says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" Okay, so we're in this truth, but we're in the flesh, okay, and we're living here in a wicked queendom that has all of these things in it that causes the flesh to want to consider being a part of it, okay. But at the same time too, there has to be a balance, okay. You can't be all righteous, which will go insane, okay. So we're being warned, okay. We're being warned not to try to be all righteous, at the same time too not to be fall into the wickedness of this kingdom, okay. Be not all much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? And this is Jake, okay. That's Jake right here. This is what Jake is doing, all right. Because what is going to happen is that these Asians are going to take up arms, okay, and they're going to do a strike first, okay. Esau is also going to take up arms, and if you look at the way they responded with Black Lives Matter, and also and the way they responded with Asian Lives Matter, and I wish I had it here. For one victim of this Asian old lady, Moabite old lady who got attacked, her community raised $2 million for her in only 1.5 days. Jake, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, maybe $6,000-$7,000. So that tells you the depth of these Moabites' pocket. They have money, all right. And money is power, okay. They get hired by Esau, okay. So now Esau is taking a look at this. Now, if you're saying, well, what are you talking about? Let's take a look at this. Is how this is, what direction this is going. This is from Palo Alto. This is from the Bay Area. Now I'm up in the Bay Area, okay. So this is what came up. Palo Alto police investigate racist graffiti in park restroom as hate crime. Now, when you see that topic, you automatically assume it's a hate crime towards so-called Negro or African American in this country, right? That's what I thought too, because that's been the meme that's been going on, okay? But check this out, okay? Now, if you know Palo Alto is where Google and all these other places are. This is the Silicon tech area of California, okay? Very rich area. Average house out here is about $1.5 million for a house that's about 1,000 square foot. I mean, that just gives you an idea how expensive it and costly it is to live up here. So now take a look at it. So I'm going to read it real quick. Palo Alto police are investigating a report of racist graffiti inside a public restroom at a city park near Stanford University and treating as a hate crime according to the police department. And I'm thinking to myself, ooh, it's got to be somebody saying something against Jake, right? The initial report came at about 7:40 p.m. Friday when the department received a call reporting the graffiti inside a restroom at El Camino Park at 155 El Camino Real, police said. Officers responded and found writing in black marker in several areas of the bathroom, including on the stalls and wall. Now here it goes. The graffiti included racial epithets directed at white people, it says. Okay, remember we always talk about the fact that Esau always will spin things around like that. There is this thing that they have that there's reverse discrimination against them. Who's oppressing them? I'm sorry, but it ain't us. We don't hold no power, so how are we oppressing that? But you can take a look at it, all right? So you got Black Lives Matter, You got Asian Lives Matter that's going on. But right now, what you have here is the graffiti included racial epithet directed at white people. And they're calling it a hate crime. So our oppressors, the one that murdered hundreds of millions of our people on the voyage from Europe over here to enslave us for a couple hundred years, slaughtered indigenous people of what is known as the Caribbean today, and also here in North America and South America, dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, and have destroyed culture after culture after culture after culture, and which we see live on television many times. Okay, and they make fun movies and write books about it and put themselves on Time magazine, are now claiming that there's hate crime. So who could that boogeyman be? You see how they do it? All right? This is how they do it. Okay? So if you're a Jake in this truth, just got into this truth, and you brothers and sisters out there, look, we got wolves around us, and there are times that they're gonna make these. There are times that you feel like, maybe you might want to throw a punch at somebody, or somebody might say something stupid to you. You might want to resort back to that old ways that you were. You might want to do something. You might want to throw those MMA moves on them, or just do something. Consider this: Matthew 26:52. All right, and this has always been in my head before I even got into the truth. Then said Yahawashi unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all that take the sword shall perish with the sword. All right? So these jakes and these fools that out there stocking up on guns and weapons and, punching old Moabites and Asian men, this is going to come back. And the problem with that is that these people don't distinguish the good guys, us who in this truth, from these guys, a guy that murdered his own mom. All right? So this is the dangerous times that we're going in right now, and you're going to see Jake behaving even worse once they take away the stale of bread, which is that extra $300 for them to sit down and be stupid and do nothing with themselves, like coming into this truth and making Yahawashi the priority in their life. Okay? So with that, I'd like to end it and give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. I'd like to give a little salutation out to Amoan Abad, Yahweh Maccabees 144, GMS Mysteries of the Kingdom Trilogy. These are the prophets and the elders that I learned from, that I came into this truth, and also the elders from Great Millstone. Okay, and for all you brothers and sisters out there in this truth, be vigilant, stay in it. Okay, don't depart. Shalom.